Yeah, today was a great day. I wanted to follow up on the bad day that I had. And it's been a few days now. I believe it's November 29th, 2023. And today was way better. Um, I believe I had some sort of virus or flu going through my body. And to be honest, my brain was a bit fried. And that just happens sometimes because I like to go all in, like I spoke about. Um, what I've found out that is that if you feel bad, uh, many times, most times, it is because you lack knowledge in some area that made you do too much or do too little in with something in your everyday or in your life. It's got something to do with the way you understand the world, how you interact with it, how much knowledge you have about how things affect you, how food affects you, how habits affect you. And you might have that knowledge, but sometimes you just forget it because your emotions tell you to do something or tell you to skip something that may be important to your health and all that kind of thing. So even though when I felt bad that day, I think that was just one of those days where I just had to feel bad for me to acknowledge what was going on. And I know you can always object and say, just relax, Emil. Just relax, man. That's just the way it is sometimes. But I don't work like that. I just I don't I just can't accept that. Just saying, oh, it's fine. I can always accept the fact that I need to recover on a certain day, or that I pushed it too far and I just need to do, like, stay still and be careful and just let my body and mind recover. And honestly, I love that. I love being relaxed and chilling. Just yeah. But this, like, there's many ways to feel good and feel energized and happy, and there's many reasons for feeling happy and energized. On the other hand, there's many reasons why one can feel down and out, under the weather, bad, unmotivated. And what I found, like I just said, it's mostly about getting to know yourself better. Because if you always tell yourself, that's just the way it is, can't do nothing about it, too bad, guess I'm just gonna feel like shit for the rest of my life, then you'll never let yourself learn what's actually going on. And I know that most people feel this way or just accept the way they feel. Yeah, you should accept the way you feel, because that way it's going to pass, but that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, like 10 times out of 10, you can learn something from observing your current situation and your current mood. Because if I, on this evening, can feel great and the entirety of my day was amazing, because I felt not just elated, I felt stable and balanced, but my baseline was high. Not in a, what do you call it, frantic or like manic or like crazy, like hyper way. No, not at all. Just a steady flow of awesomeness. And I know it wasn't random. It's because I changed a few things. So what did I change? That's a good question. Let me assess. My sleeping schedule. Throughout the days leading up to that day, my sleep hygiene, sleep routine had become messed up. So instead of going to bed at 10, I pushed it to between 12 and 1 in the night. And what I found about myself, this will vary between people, because you have different chronotypes. Some people feel their best when they rise early in the morning. Some people, according to their chronotype, will feel better like waking up in the middle of the day, or like being night owls. I've noticed when I rise early, like between 6 and 8 in the morning, I feel the best. I just do. But if I wake up between 9 and 11, something will just feel off in my brain. Like the day just will not be like feel the same, be the same. It's like something's lacking behind, something like I got the wrong foot out of the bed. And that's not the right way to say it. So I fixed that. Like I pulled back. So I went to bed at a better time, which meant I got to wake up at a better time. Also, before going to bed, I didn't eat a lot. So if I eat my last meal at 8, my stomach won't be digesting as much when I fall asleep, which will allow my body to do other stuff than digesting food. I started drinking more water. I started meditating again, which makes it easier to just be calm in the evening and fall asleep right away. So, yeah. And that's just a few things where just small tweaks, minor tweaks, can make the entire next day like a lot greater. and it's been years since I've like been drinking coffee and energy drinks and all this. I just recently found out that like every type of soda has some sort of aroma of caffeine in it, and now I've just discovered why some of my nights are completely messed up. And this only applies to me because I have no tolerance for caffeine, so just the slightest bit will like mess up my night, because the half time of caffeine is 7 hours. So it will only halve in your like the contents of caffeine in your body will halve every 7 hours. That's why it's recommended to drink coffee only in the morning and like latest of the midday, because if you drink coffee or any type of caffeine or energy drinks after like in the evening or nighttime, you might not feel it and you might be asleep in the night, but your body is still working with the caffeine and you won't have as deep of sleep that you're supposed to have. But if I drink caffeine without knowing it, and I had one night where I was drinking caffeine without knowing it at 9 p.m. at night, and I didn't fall asleep. I couldn't sleep. I felt fine because I was like activated by the caffeine, of course, but I couldn't sleep. So when I finally fell asleep at 5 and woke up at 10, so I got 5 hours and I was waking up in the wrong time, and my body hadn't been in a deep state of sleep. It was just a bad day. It's that easy. So it's things like that. When you start to dig deeper, you realize that you can make minor, like small tweaks here and there, and it's drastically going to change your everyday. Drastically. I'd like to talk about why I've quit most stimulants. So we're talking alcohol, caffeine, porn, too much sugar. Man, I love sugar. So sugar is I'm still like, I love sugar and I want it in my life. So I occasionally eat like processed sugar, chocolate, cake, candy, all this stuff. So I'm not like completely like ascetic. It's not like that. So let me please let me explain. So every person in this present moment and every other present moment in the future, you have a baseline. I'm just gonna call it a baseline. So a baseline of energy, or like the way that you feel in every moment. But this baseline can, over time, through habits and just habits and just the way you live, can go up. So a higher baseline of energy throughout the day, and it can go down, a lower baseline of energy throughout the day. So the baseline is just what feels normal to me, what this baseline tells me, what I deem to be a normal feeling, like I feel like myself right now. If you are addicted to any sort of stimulant, in the extreme, we're talking drugs. In the more like normal people, we're talking caffeine and dopamine spikes through social media or like just media content, and alcohol and sugar. What I found out is that when you use caffeine to get you through the day, you will never allow your baseline to rise naturally. Because when you are addicted to caffeine, you will just have a baseline below what it feels like to be on caffeine. I hope that makes sense. So you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like yourself. You are below baseline. So you need to drink a coffee, and then whoop, then you go to baseline. Feels great because you are addicted to it. So you need caffeine to feel normal, right? Or like to feel at least great for some time. And then it stimulates you, caffeine. Boom. I hope this makes sense. Then you go through a day and it steadily declines because it's an alien substance from your body's point of view. So it enters the body and it stimulates you, and it goes to baseline, and you feel like you're supposed to feel. Throughout the day it declines. It leaves the body again. Your body is getting rid of this stimulant because that's how it works. So you need to either feel worse and worse and just tired, lethargic, whatever. So you need to keep adding more caffeine throughout the day to keep your baseline. You can of course up the dose to go above your baseline. That's fine. But just know that because you depend on this substance, and you know how tolerance goes, if you keep adding to the dose, you'll just need that dose to keep your baseline. So the more addicted you are to this substance, which is caffeine right now, the more you need to just keep feeling normal. It's the same with drugs. Like, let's talk about, we can say meth addicts, heroin addicts. They all say they are dependent on the drug if you reach that state. So you just need to keep taking the drug to just feel normal. I'm not saying drugs and caffeine are equally bad, not at all, because like hard drugs, of course, are hard drugs. They are way more stimulating. They have a much higher peak, and they have a much higher drop below baseline. But like the function is the same. So with caffeine, you will always drop below baseline because your body has to handle the stimulant, and when it's done doing it, it will always drop below. And if you ever try to quit caffeine, you will have a headache for like 2 days, and you will not feel like yourself because you're finally allowing your body to just be natural. So it will drop way below baseline for a few days, and then it will gradually go up again. It's the same with alcohol. If you're alcohol dependent throughout the day, or you just need 1 beer a day, or a few beers, you know what I mean. And so if you are stimulant dependent, you will always be battling your dependency. Like you will always be dependent on this thing. And you will, and the only way you can feel greater is by adding more. If we are talking strictly about this, like there's so many other lifestyle choices you can make to feel to raise your baseline, of course. But I hope you get the point. Now, what I found, because I was forced to quit caffeine because it was extremely stimulating to me. One, because I had a lower tolerance, because of a concussion I got. So the effect was more wild. It wasn't as steady. But I did have 1 year as a teacher where I drank a lot of coffee, like 4 or 5 cups a day. And I could maintain, but all of a sudden I just crashed because it was not real energy. And this is my point. What I've found is that when you quit caffeine and you are not caffeine dependent, when you quit alcohol and it's not part of your everyday, just like 1 beer a day, it's fine, and then I drink sometimes in the weekend. If you quit the alcohol and the caffeine, after some time you can actually build your baseline up to be way higher than they could ever take it, like just by peaking. So if you just do like a triple shot espresso, and then 20 minutes later you do another triple shot, you might feel ecstatic and like very hyper and ready to take on the world for like 1 hour because it's just peaking, but you will ultimately crash. If you are not dependent on drugs, like let's just call alcohol a drug and caffeine a drug, sugar a drug. Sugar, it's not the same, but it is though. But for the sake of the argument, we just call them drugs. Drugs will make you peak and way above baseline, and then they will take you down below baseline, and your baseline will drop. And when you become dependent on the drug, you will have to keep taking these drugs to just reach your baseline because your system is so fried. If you allow your system to regenerate and find a natural rhythm, like you can, what I've found is that you can feel 1,000 times better than these drugs will ever make you feel, ever. And it will be steady energy throughout the day, and just feel great all day. Yes, life still sucks sometimes, but that's external challenges and just life being life, If you have internal challenges all the time because your body is working on all these drugs you're putting into it, it will always keep working overtime. And yes, you might feel great for some periods, but then, what comes up must go down. That's just the way of life. It's just like a natural law. Yeah, the same goes with the testosterone. People doing steroids and testosterone, and as long as they keep taking it, they feel great, and they have all this excess testosterone to rebuild muscle tissue, and recovery is way faster, and they feel great, but they become dependent. And if they do testosterone and steroids for too long, the body will stop producing testosterone, like natural testosterone. So when they get off these drugs, then they just feel like shit, limp dick, no, like straight depression, like they feel suicidal because they have no natural testosterone, which is our entire drive and well-being and all that. So they have to go to a doctor, and now they have to get prescribed testosterone for the rest of their life because they shut down the process in the body. I'm not saying caffeine and alcohol would do that. I'm just saying that if you are consuming too much caffeine or alcohol, it will eventually shut down your liver, and it will overfry your brain, and you will go down with stress because your central nervous system is stressed. Your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system has to work in balance. One takes you high and you feel energized, and one takes you low and takes you into recovery. Too much caffeine will make it very hard for your body to enter that state of recovery, like deep recovery, deep sleep. Because remember, the half-time of caffeine is 7 hours. So it will only halve in 7 hours. So that means you need more than 24 hours for it to completely be out your body, 2 or 3 days. And then you will have the best sleep of your life. And you will gradually feel better. But it takes time to build up the baseline. That's how the body works. It's not just days, it's weeks and months. Same goes for porn addiction. I've been trying to quit porn for 5 years, and it's gradually getting better and better and better. I fall back into the habit of watching a little porn once a month now. It used to be once a day or once every other day many years ago. And I started when I was 13, I guess, like most boys do. So it's so ingrained in my brain that it takes years to get out of it. It's a struggle, right? But it's the same thing as with the caffeine and with the alcohol. It's just different levels. Like porn is a very high level stimulant. If you use it like I used it, and most people use it, like you go through the categories, you have some favorite videos and genres and all that kind of stuff. It's like a floodgate party. You're just spending it all. And if you've ever been partying for like partying hard, you know the crash is coming. But right now it's been with, I think actually tomorrow it's 1 month, and this time I feel like I'm going to take it further. So I guess I also want to talk about that in a video, because it's very taboo. Like it's something people don't want to talk about because they just want that habit that makes them relax and makes them not have to worry about anything. Okay, so that's another topic, but it's still on the same topic of being a stimulant. What I found is that when you let go of all this synthetic energy, your baseline can go to the fucking moon. Like, and it's just awesome. But it's a process. It's a process. But this process leads to somewhere. Using all kinds of drugs like all the drugs I mentioned, because I'm just gonna call them drugs now, will only lead you to being more dependent on these drugs. Like there's only one way. And if you really think about it, it's very clear to acknowledge, but most people don't want to go there. They don't want to acknowledge, like, no, I'm not dependent on this drug, so it's okay. I've got this. This is no problem. Everything is fine. And you see just a fire in the yeah. Because we don't want to deal with the pain right now. We want to push the pain away. So we just do the drug of our choice, just one more time. And we feel relaxed because we don't have to deal with the pain today or for the next few hours. Until the feeling starts to rise again. The feeling of, oh shit, something's not right. I'm starting to feel tired. I'm starting to think about my life and that I actually have to deal with it, and maybe I don't. Maybe this is not for me, and do the drug. Do the drug. Now I feel great again. And this is how the mind works. But if you find the courage, and this is just anecdotal, but I've been to some forums and I've seen thousands of people agreeing with this, but it's a very small percentage of people that you can take your baseline of energy, well-being, inner peace, drive, motivation to live and conquer the world. You can take that infinitely higher than being dependent on a drug that's going to tell you that everything is okay. Because sometimes, most times, everything is not okay. Everything is shit. And you have to deal with it. And most times, you deal with it by feeling it and being in that feeling until your baseline starts to rise and you learn something about yourself. And you gradually build upon your character. And you realize, maybe I wasn't meant to be fucking my own hand while watching pixels on a screen. Maybe I wasn't meant to drink watered down literal poison. You don't drink 100% alcohol. Like you water it down to 5% so that the poison doesn't instantly kill you. And every time you drink that poison, your liver has to work, and you might not feel it because you can't feel yourself, because you actually feel like shit, but you don't want to acknowledge it. So you don't actually know how good you can feel, but your body internally is still doing the work. And that's one day you will have some sort of big disease because your body finally had enough. And then it will tell you, dude, will you please listen? Will you please allow yourself to feel something so that you can feel that we are actually in a very bad spot? Yeah. And everything I'm saying might just be noise to you, because your ego, your mind will try to defend and say, no, and then it will project and it will say, Emil, he's just an asshole and he doesn't know. And we have this reason and this reason and this reason. And this is why it's okay. And this is why. And fuck you, Emil. You don't know shit about fuck. Yes, but yeah, I know. So, but still, what I'm saying is true, because I've been to both sides. I know exactly how the mind works. I know exactly how it talks to me. And that's why I've spent years trying to get out of these dependencies, because the mind is so fucking powerful. It will tell you the most amazing lies to get you back into using the drug of your choice. And when you are already addicted to something, it's so easy to become addicted to something else. So when I try to quit porn, my sugar addiction, it just shoots right up there. So my brain is trying to tell me, like, remember that you can always feel good, Emil. And then, okay, I can feel good, but I could feel even better if I watch some porn again, because it's been a long time. So my baseline is higher, which means I'm going to feel even greater for that short duration, because I'm more sensitive again. So yeah, that's my point. If you are depending on different drugs, alcohol, sugar, real life women, screen women, addicted to drama on the internet, commenting on your fucking little Facebook account when something happens, and you just yeah, let's not get into that. Addicted to food, which is very common. Addicted to not eating food. Addicted to sports. Addicted to training all the time. Like there's so many things that bring it to. So yeah, you get the point. You get the point. So I just want to say that there is a reality where you just give your mind and you give your stomach, you give your organs, you give them a break. And in the beginning, it will hurt a little, but that's okay. And over time, your sensitivity will get back. You will start to feel things again, like on a much deeper level. And what was once boring will feel nice again. Not ecstatic, not crazy amazing. It does sometimes. But just naturally great. Just a good feeling all the time. Because what's the word? Because you can feel again. Given enough time, when I quit my dependencies, I can cry again. Like I can get in contact with that part of myself that can cry and allow myself to cry and feel good crying. It feels amazing to cry. And I've had years where I couldn't cry because I was so hyper stimulated. It feels so healing and deep to cry, but it takes a lot of time to get to that point. I'm not saying that you can't cry, but I was one of those guys. And the beautiful thing is, like, there's no ceiling. If you can not listen to what the world is trying to sell you, but you just sit in stillness just a few moments a day, and you don't indulge in all those drugs, amazing things will begin to happen. And that's the journey I'm on right now. And I've reached the 1 month mark with a lot of things, and now I have some good habits in order. And I'm starting to feel that that power. So I hope I can keep it going. That's all for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. At least I did. So, right, I'll see you.